Hi, it's me, Michael, with my weekly report, recording it for the second time because the sound was a mess the first time. I took a couple of weeks off. Well, I took last weekend off, so I had two 3-day weeks, and then this should have been out last Friday, but I ended up just getting sucked into something and didn't get to this because I basically rebuilt all my weekly reporting stuff. But let me just try and dash through what I did, all the stages. So let's have a look at the desktop. Here is what we had. So if I look back here, that's the week before, and that's last week. You see, I ended up doing, it was only a 3-day week, but I just ended up spending so much time on something that was crazy. So the main thing I was working on was changes. And I wanted to get a version of the app up in time to start just living with it over the weekend. So that's what this is. I did this sort of here's your monthly, and because it sort of was crossing a month boundary, it was a good time to do it to sort of see how it feels in real life. But yeah, so this is at the beginning of the month, it goes here's your monthly insight for March. We've also done I've also done this. The designs came from Ian, so that's cool. But yeah, I've sort of got this. Here's how your week compares to last week. So that's been coming through. And we've got if you save an entry that gets sort of pinned to the timeline, and then we've got this sort of rough day insight that if you say something negative, and it actually got triggered over the weekend. We had some things, and it was weirdly sort of helpful in a little way. So yeah, I've just been living with that a little bit. There's a couple of bugs in it, where it's the scrolling's a bit weird for some reason. Some Swift UI stuff. But yeah, that's that. I did the other, but then as I came out the weekend, I noticed that I've got a bill to pay. So I thought, let's focus on Dungood, because the thing with Dungood, it's the first version of it was really something that is functional enough for me to run my life with it, but also something that sort of loosely explains, tries to explain itself enough to get people interested. But I'm not converting many of those to paying customers. Maybe one stranger has been converted to a paying customer so far. So I think, and I saw this talk that was just all about the importance of onboarding in that. You've just got to demonstrate some value immediately. So I took a little bit of time to think about how to actually bring people into Dungood properly when they first use it. And that starts off. So I've got 3 steps. One is what you're trying to get done. Step 2 is when are you going to do it? And then step 3 is, okay, enable these reminders, add it to your calendar, let us send you an email, all those kinds of things. And then the first one being just kind of put some stuff in a list. And then as soon as you've done that, because at the moment the onboarding is, can I bring this up? I don't even know if I can. Some of these don't work. Forms. Yeah, okay. It sort of just creates some fake tasks and goes, bleh, but it doesn't really get you to put your tasks in, which is what it should really do. But because it didn't really have the prospect of a list until quite late on, and the lists look sort of stupid and awkward, and you can drag and drop these, but it's awkward, and you go into edit and you sort of expand it, and it's just it's a bit chaotic. So I wanted to do here is a list. You click on things, it's very responsive. You click in here, it sort of gives you a little bit more. So if we go another task, we can add some notes, and it's all going to sort of respond nicely. Whereas at the moment, you can't really see the notes. How do I even edit this task? I'm not sure. I have to click on it, and then I have to do this and this, and then this is this weird it's messy. So I wanted to just try and do a really nice job of this UI. So if you go add day, it's got tomorrow, this weekend, next week, custom. You can sort of set the repeating times and things like that. So that's step 1. And then step 2 is I wanted to go because a missing aspect of my whole design is because I use it all day, every day. I haven't really got a thing for people that are just going to use it in the mornings or one day a week for their sort of day off, or in the evenings, or whatever it is. And I thought, well, if I introduce that concept, then it gives me, I know when to send people a reminder. I know how to start getting people into the right habit. So that's something I'm looking at and something I want to continue working on this week after I've fixed some bugs with some things that I've recently updated. So the next thing, my other main project. Well, this is weird. I don't know which one to show you first. I'm actually going to show you the other one first. So I ended up spending, like, this is actually a 3-day week, so you can see how much extra work I put into this thing, which was my reporting. So I recently started doing these weekly. I wanted like a printed out, nice looking report that could help me just really sort of focus in on like what area I want to try and make a difference and sort of feel like I've got some level of control over my sort of profitability or like, you know, that kind of thing. And it was really, you know, I'm a big like automate everything guy. So, but it turned out with the reporting, it's such like on like the data you really want is not, it's if you just try and lean on something Google gives you or something Facebook gives you or whatever these companies give you, it's never going to really give you the right stuff. So I'd been basically manually producing these reports. So I'd been copying data into Sketch, and I'd made some little sort of things, but I literally had to copy the report, like copy the values through and just sort of do it all by hand. But I'd noticed that I was starting to maintain this spreadsheet of data. And I realized that probably like if I can create the spreadsheet and put the data in that, I can probably generate a report from that, even if I'm manually entering the data. So what I did was like really refine the process of adding the data. So and I'm not using so instead of using Google Sheets, I'm using Coda, which I really like, partly because it's got a decent API sort of thing, but basically it guides me. So I spent Friday working on this, so it's just a thing that like sets up the data, guides me through like where I need to go for each thing. I add it in, and like I come out of it with a good data set, which then goes through this calculations thing. So this is like a single row, and it just like gives me every single calculation that I want to put on the display. And then I have got this React app that goes to the API for Coda, so it just grabs those values out, and I can select what week I want the report to be. So I sort of select it here, and it goes to a different report. And each of these is like, let's say we wanted to go, like conversions change. It's got this whole sort of scripting, like, you know, you can do all these calculations in here. So, I've got previous report, I've got these apps as things. So I set up all the calculations in here, and then they just come out of the API, and then I just have this little Create React app, which renders and lays it all out. And now my weekly report looks like, so this is it fetching the API, and then this is the thing. So, I've got all my hold on a sec. I just want to there's a couple of sensitive bits that I'm just going to delete the divs from the page. Now it just pulls these values in, and I can just print this page, and we can see what's I can see everything that's happening. And I was able to add these little spark lines, and just it was quite easy to make the changes. So even though it was kind of a slog putting it together, if I'm honest, like it was like just there was no way to, but you sort of know you're doing something useful when there's no way to sort of automate it. It's like I'm obviously doing something that has a lot of value if I'm having to do every single thing one at a time, as someone that, you know, knows very well how to avoid doing that. So that's my left brain activities, and then my right brain activities, the creative side. I've been doing my 3-hour streams, Unity streams, where I'm just working on this project. So the week before last, I was working on this. I was trying to get my little monkey man to dance, and that was a bit awkward, and I still haven't quite solved that. But then I sort of pivoted and figured out how to get the Twitch chat integration to work. So when someone puts an emote in chat, it like spawns it into this world I'm creating. But while I was taking some time off, while we had sort of 6 days not working, I was just thinking about like what was going to make this compelling, and I realized like it needs a narrative structure to it. And I've come up with this way of doing a story within this dynamic, interactive, music reactive. So there's a live music performance that's sort of controlling aspects of the visuals, but then there's stuff happening in there that is also reacting to things that people are throwing out in chat, and are sort of being picked up by this, and like it's going to affect what they're doing. So, and then I have this concept like that when I change the track, the music will change, and the story will move forwards, and I hope that will sort of suck people in. They'll be like, oh, what's going to happen next? So they're part of it, but it's also this narrative. So I wrote this sort of 3-part short story, sort of dynamic story, I suppose. And so I've been working on the first scene of that, which is if we turn on the shading, like it's our little monkey friend is hard at work in his study, making something on this bench. So I sort of like made a little bench. I sort of started working on some sort of shelving. Actually, like one thing he's got like a little shelving unit. You can see how the light sort of like there's some subtle details in here that like no one's probably going to notice, but yeah, just to make this stuff look realistic. But it's all exists inside this like a corner of this shoebox. So he's just like in this back corner of this shoebox, and he's in his own little world, but maybe something's going to happen that takes him out of that. So yeah, it's like a sort of it's just something I'm trying out, and that's my sort of like creative activity kind of thing that I'm doing at the moment. Okay, that's a song called Dead or Alive, and well, I don't love the singing on it. It's can I open an image in new window? Right, I'm just going to show you the other thing. The last thing I did this week was I did a studio time-up, because my studio looked like this basically. Well, actually this is halfway through, so this was further out. Have I got a picture of it before? Let me see. Basically I've listed this thing for sale because I just need to sell some stuff. But like I sort of took the opportunity to reorganize the studio. So this thing was sort of down on the floor and had wheels on it. So I took the wheels off it, put it up on top of the here. I've taken one thing off there, so that's there. But it's looking like well, I'll just show you. Like this was sort of the state of it really. But I've reorganized it to now. I've pulled up my modular rig onto here, and it now looks like if I can show you my Instagram actually. Yeah, basically I've reorganized my my studio, but I've also taken my Amiga out of retirement, so I got a thing to let me plug my Amiga into a normal monitor. So that's part of the live rig. I've got some things here. I've got this one synth. I've got this stuff up at eye level, and I can put things on top of it now. But yeah, that was kind of a lot of effort last Friday as well, and over the weekend. So my studio's feeling a bit more ergonomic, a bit more refined, a bit more creative, a bit more relaxed. So yeah, music making. I do my afternoon Monday streams, I do my Saturday streams, and it's all good. So that's really been my couple of weeks, and I will be back on Friday with a more timely update, and I hope to see you then. Bye.